If you take the total accumulated student debt in this country, $1.2 trillion, it's larger than the total credit card debt in this country. It's only below mortgage debt in terms of the indebtedness. And the bad news is, for too many students, they're getting more deeply in debt than anyone ever could realize. It is hard for me to sit here and imagine a student sitting in an office across a desk and someone pushing papers in front of them saying, well, if you want to go to class on Monday, we need you to sign up today. And they're about to sign up for $10,000, $15,000, $20,000 in debt at the age of 19 or 20. How could they possibly know what they are getting into?
I decided ISU is the school I'm going to, so I filled out my FAFSA. I was ready to go, but it didn't quite cover my entire cost. And coming from a single-parent home, that meant, looks like I'm going to be working. So I took out loans for each year, and on top of that, at one point, I was taking 18 credit hours, working a 30-hour job, split between 3 separate jobs, and still going to school every single day. I graduated in May with a degree. I was lucky enough to be offered a position at the school I student taught at. That being said, I still graduated about $30,000 in debt.
This program would help me because all the students that went to school in 2008 and 2012 through 2012, as I did, they have 6.8% interest rates. If this bill was to pass, it would definitely help out a lot because now I don't think I'm going for the doctorate just yet. I want to take a break. So I have to start paying for other things like sofas and apartments and deposits. It's too much.
Refinancing this debt costs money. And Durbin, now that you've come up with a great idea that people are applauding, how are you going to pay for this? I'll tell you. Warren Buffett. Heard his name? One of the richest men in America. Pretty nice guy. Know him a little bit. Well, he asked a question a few years ago no one's answered. He said, why should I, as one of the richest men in America, have a lower income tax rate than my secretary? That's not right. The reason, most of his income is capital gains. Her income, earned income. And she has a higher income tax rate for that earned income than he does for capital gains. And so Warren Buffett said, those of us who are really rich ought to have a minimum income tax rate that we pay of 30%. That's the so-called Buffett rule. The Buffett rule, if we just applied it to millionaires, would generate enough money to pay for this refinancing of college student loans. Listen, if Warren Buffett volunteered it, as far as I'm concerned, it's not a bad idea. I think it's a very good idea. So we're going to try to put this together on a bipartisan basis and pass it. We may not do it the first time around, but I'm hoping that parents, students will stand up and say, this is worth a fight. And we're going to ask our congressman, our senator, where do you stand? That's what elections and the democracy is all about.